This topic is web typography, creating scannable text. Good content design is all about making your information scannable. Scannability is important because reading is 25% slower on a computer screen, and 79% of users scan text. The key to creating scannable pages is to use clear, short language, chunk information, prioritize, and label. Step 1 is to use clear, short language. To make it clear, put it in plain English. Don't use complicated words or specialized terminology. Don't use unfamiliar acronyms, and whenever you do use acronyms, make sure to define them. Always think about your user. Do they know and would they understand the terminology that you are using? You also need to make it short by getting to the point. Make sure that you convey the meaning, but use short headlines, sentences, paragraphs, and lists. Use the inverted pyramid principle when writing. This is the technique newspaper journalists use. You're always in jeopardy of losing your user's attention, so give them the most important information up front. When writing a paragraph, start with the point. Users should be able to understand what the paragraph is about by reading the first page. Fill in the background story and less important details as you go. When you think you're done writing your content, proofread again and again and again. Tighten up the wording to make it as succinct as possible. Spell check wording and check grammar. The second step to creating scannable content is by chunking. You want to break up text into smaller, bite-sized pieces. Chunk or group related information together. Chunk long paragraphs into multiple shorter paragraphs, and chunk continuous text into bulleted lists. The third step to creating scannable content is to prioritize. This goes back to the idea of the inverted pyramid that you should use when writing your text. Whether it is a web page, paragraph, or bulleted list, users start at the top and work their way down, which is why it's important to prioritize everything from the most important to the least important. Have the most important thing on your web page at the top of the page. Have the most important thing in each paragraph at the beginning of each paragraph. Organize your list in a logical order. Have the most important item in your bulleted list at the top of your bulleted list. If there is no ranking in terms of importance, then list the items alphabetical. Step 4 is to label, label, label. Use headlines, subheadlines, and sub-subheadlines. Make sure to use appropriate markup like H1s, H2s, H3s, and so on. Users should be able to scan and find what they are looking for by using your labels. Label your chunked information. Label pages, page sections, paragraphs, and bulleted lists. Really, any items you've grouped together can be labeled. Labels should describe the contents and what's inside. Your page title should describe what's on the page. Your headings should describe what's in the section, paragraph, or bulleted list that you're labeling. Also remember to always label your links. They describe the contents of your hyperlink and where it goes. To write good labels, be meaningful. They should make sense by themselves and have meaning without reading further detail. Be clear, don't be clever. Keep it short, on average about 2 to 6 words. Start with the most important word. Don't start with an a, an, or the. Page titles should be unique, so each page on your site has its own identity. Use the page titles to brand as well as describe. Page titles are often used as the main reference for the page. They are used for bookmarks, browser history, and search engine results. Label your list appropriately by using the correct list style for your content. For example, normal bullets versus numbered. If you are providing step-by-step directions, use numbered lists. When you have links, use descriptive text for the link. For example, instead of listing just the linked URL, the link text should be meaningful by itself and describe what is on the page the link goes to. Users should be able to understand what the link is for when reading it at a glance. The link should be short, 2 to 4 words. The link text should make sense in the contents of its sentence. The link should be surrounded by related text that help to further explain where it goes. Links should look clickable, and non-links should not look clickable. Link names should match their page titles, headings, and URLs. In this example, when the user clicks on Services in the main menu, they are taken to a page with services in the page title, URL, and page header. Doing this helps increase search engine optimization, but also helps the user know they got to the right place. Remember, the key to creating scannable pages is these 4 steps. Use clear, short language, chunk information, prioritize, and label.